And in the spirit of engagement, I believe that we need to move from giving sales presentations to having sales conversations. Now, I know that some of you watching are speakers or leaders or teachers, and you may not view yourselves as being in sales. But the truth is, however, you really are. All of us are. Whether it's a product, a service, information, ourselves, an idea, a strategy that we're promoting, in whatever way, shape, or form it is, we are all in sales. And I think we would do a lot better to embrace that fact and to learn to sell effectively. A sales presentation, by definition, is a monologue. It's one person talking. While a sales conversation is a dialogue. It's interactive. It's two people going back and forth. And there needs to be interaction for engagement to take place. Now, I'm sure we've all done this before. I know I have. But have you ever given a presentation where you just talk, and at the end of it, you said, "Are there any questions?" And probably they said, "Nope." I mean, we've all done that. There's no interaction. There's no connection. There's no engagement in that model. And because of that, there's no influence. So we need to have interaction. There needs to be questions. There needs to be interaction. There needs to be talking and listening. Remember that a great storyteller is first a great story listener. Now, I know some of you speak to large audiences, and you may be thinking, well, how do I have a conversation with a large audience? I can't have this interactive, this back and forth between me and the audience, but you can. The thing is, when I talk about dialogue, when I talk about interaction, I'm not saying that it has to be a question, they respond, an answer, you respond, back and forth, a normal conversation. I'm saying that you need to make them part. There's lots of ways you can do that. Humor, for example. If you get your audience to laugh, that's a great engagement tool. Having them answer questions, maybe they're rhetorical questions, maybe you have them raise their hand or share something with their neighbor. All of those are great tools. Having them brainstorm ideas, having them take notes. If you can get them involved, they become a part of it. Then it becomes a conversation. That is a very important piece of this interaction with people. Now, not too long ago, I had a chance to go to the National Speakers Association conference. And at that conference, I met hundreds of professional speakers. And the normal conversation with somebody started something like this. "So tell me, what do you speak on?" They were always asking, or I was always asking, "What do you speak on?" That was kind of a commonality we all shared. And I remember one particular lady asked me that question. She said, "Ty, what do you speak on?" And I responded by saying, "I speak on influence to sales and leadership organizations." And she said, "So are you a sales speaker or a leadership speaker?" And I said, "Well, I'm both." And she said, "Well, you can't be both." And I kind of laughed and I said, "Well, then I'm in trouble because I am." Now, what does that have to do with sales conversations versus sales presentations? I believe that sales has changed. The old school techniques of push strategies, of arm twisting, of high pressure sales, they don't work anymore. Maybe they never did. Sales today is about influence. It's about moving people. I love this quote by a top sales trainer, Lisa Sasevich. She said this, she said, "In today's world, people are looking to be inspired, encouraged, taught, and heard. It's no longer about simply selling, it's about becoming a trusted advisor." I love that. You're now learning to influence, and that, my friend, is where you begin to make the biggest impact and attract dedicated, highly committed, highly invested clients. I completely agree with Lisa. And the reason that I do is because they say that leadership is influence, but here's the insight. So is sales, and so is teaching, and so is speaking. If you're in the people business, your communication, it's all influence. And so if we learn how to sell well, if we learn how to sell effectively, if we learn how to engage people, we can be more influential. You see, everybody likes to buy, but nobody likes to be sold. The reason that stories are an influencer's best friend is because stories are attractive. They are the ultimate pull strategy. They bring people to you. They set people at ease. They engage people into your conversation, into your presentation, so that you can move them in the direction that you have in mind.